Sorry, I haven't looked at these changes that have been made or suggested or things you're going to vote on tonight. On the plans till I got here just in time to see them. That site's got about the last remaining trees on that gigantic development site of 30 acres or more, approximately 30 acres, which was all cleared at the same time for a hill place, and they used what this place does not own now, apparently. So I'm wondering if any of the existing adult trees are going to be left on the south edge of it. I hope there are. And I hope more important than just the trees is that some of that soil will remain in place, and it will actually be allowed to absorb water and possibly runoff from the parking lots there. As you all have heard for years, the streams immediately downstream from there, downhill from there, collect a great deal of water, and floods are common. So we're hoping there's some plan to store water on that site rather than let it run off immediately. And I don't know what those plans are. But that's very important. As you know also, in talking about the other student apartments that are planned for the National Cemetery, part of the water comes off the old sale barn property. When those parking lots are created in those buildings, we'll have to go into the same stream system. You'll have to go west under Government Avenue, and runoff's already increased there because of the new land that's been used by the cemetery for grave sites along Hill Avenue and between Hill and Government Avenue. That's deep rich soil there was dug out and replaced with the burial crypts, which are more than 8 feet. The dig out was more than 8 feet. It didn't come to any bedrock in that process. They put limestone gravel in the base of those grave sites and put the crypts on that and expect that will be safe. I don't know how much movement occurs when we have things going on such as construction, foundation building, which will be in this case going on simultaneously probably to some extent with the sale barn property becoming apartments and this site becoming a fuel station at the same time. Over the next year or so, one would expect that they would be done. But there will be a great mass of construction traffic in that neighborhood. Somehow it's got to get out of that neighborhood. I'm hoping none of it from either side comes down South Duncan Avenue, but that's the way they took most of the construction traffic out. Hundreds of dump truck loads when they were working on the 28 acres of apartments there.
Do you have any comments directly related to this item?
Well, yeah, I probably would love to talk about specifics of that thing and point at things, but when you talk about the intersection of Hill Avenue, the traffic problems are correct that you're talking about. The biggest one that exists right now is for people who want to turn on the hill coming from downtown area, and there's no turn signal to come south. I hope you take a note of that. That's been a frustration for people for a long time. So there's turn lane when you're a turn signal when you come from the west, but not from the east, and that's a great deal of traffic. And people, even when there's no car light coming above that at night from the underpass and coming to the east, in front of Brenda's, you take your life in your hands and hope your motor doesn't fail when you've got it to turn in there, because you're waiting and waiting. Sometimes you're doing it at the last second when the traffic's by. But we have accidents of 65-mile-an-hour cars coming from the university side, from Razorback Road area, just come flying up under that underpass and across there. So that's the biggest danger there in that intersection. How you're going to get traffic in and out of the thing, it will be awkward wherever you're coming from. But that's all right now. There's so much more.